All right, this is We the People News. Not attorney, not giving legal advice. However, I never look straight forward. That way, I can always look around me to be able to protect myself by any means necessary. I'm going to go ahead and use the Second Amendment and arm myself with knowledge. Okay. Also, I'm going to use the First Amendment to do this as a news. Educational purpose only. Contradictory there, isn't it? What I like to bring upon this, right? He did over here say I do and I do not, and then it follows through here, right? And if you pause it long enough. But understanding that if he doesn't mark this, they may not do nothing about it. Well, and then that what that does is force you to do I do. Okay, so I would extend this under duress, a threat of not reading or proceeding forward in such matter, and all that kind of stuff, right? You guys can figure this out. Okay, now this is what he sent. So if you want to go through there and kind of call it out as write it the exact same or write it a little bit different, but we need to call them out on these things, right? And I think it's more important now than ever, and because everybody's wising up slowly but surely, and I'm just saying, he did it, right? And as far as I'm aware of, he's still not in jail. But when he does it, like when he said the treason thing, or when you do that, I would extend a little deal saying, I'm led to believe and do believe, because they, made you believe it this way, right? You read the law, they didn't do the law, so you are led to believe that they're committing treason. Not because you wanted to believe it, it's because they made you led to believe it. All right.
The several states. They are instead domestic terrorists, and I demand the United States military protect the inhabitants of the United States from their lawless acts. I'm dead serious. You either get a proper oath or you're a domestic terrorist. I demand the military.
Now, I just paused that at it, right? There's a way of getting a copy of this and a certified stamp. And if you guys, he may tell you how to do it. I ended up doing it one time before and lost it when I got moved and all that. Darn it all, which reminds me I need to get another one. But stick this in every single court case you have, right? That way they cannot avoid it, okay? And if you want, attached to the paperwork, attached to this. And look, I got the law backing me up on this. And while you're conducting business in this courtroom, you're supposed to have this on file for upon my inspection to make sure everything's legit, which is not. All right, let's go.
From you. Laws of the United States. So this is what you would find when you find one stat 23. It looks like this. The laws of the United States. And this is just a little 2-page act that if you were to get both pages from the library, I think you could talk the librarian into putting their seal on it, because it's a public record. Even if you did it from a computer and you print it out in the library, as I remember, they print out things behind the desk and tell them you want a seal on it. See if they'll do it. If not, no big deal, right? But I think you could, and I just think that adds so much weight to it. And I'm sure you could, though, from a legal library. But they'd have to put it on. So once they do, well, this is the law. It can't be disputed. It came out of the law library, or it came out of the public record of any kind. It says, here's the laws of the United States. Acts of the First Congress of the United States, passed at the first session, which was begun and held City of New York, Wednesday, March 4, 1789, and continued September 29, 1789. George Washington, President, John Adams, Vice President of the United States and President of the Senate, Frederick Augustus Muhlenberg, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Those three men made up the government. Apparently, they're not listed in the House. In fact, they only got the House of Representatives. They got it blocked off. It's like Representative 1. So, but being enacted by the Senate, representative of the states of America, in Congress assembled, that the oath or affirmation required by the 6th Article of the Constitution of the United States shall be administered in the form following to wit. There you are. Okay, so I'm not going to read this thing. Go get a copy and you'll see it says all these people have to have taken this oath. There is no way around it, right? To not have done this and try to enforce the law would make you simulate an illegal process. And that's just a crime. It's a violation of your civil liberties. You're being denied due process. The guy who's trying to enforce the law doesn't have any authority. And he's taking you to a court that doesn't have any authority to adjudicate the matter because the executive and the judicial officers haven't taken the proper oath. And so shake your county up and tell them to produce the paper. You're going to file a complaint with the Inspector General. And just see what happens with it. Okay, one more time. Yes. Okay, I want to quickly finish up with my public record of who I've made aware of this fact, and it would include the Inspector General of the U.S. House of Representatives, in which I said, take judicial notice, congressional seats are vacated, and states are in rebellion. Inspector General, take judicial notice that I have filed a complaint with the Committee on House Administration by its email service, claiming my civil liberties and law of war have been violated by the corrupt practices of individuals under the committee's jurisdiction. If you go look at this place called the Committee on House Administration and look it up, they say that they're in charge. Just go read their jurisdiction. In support, Representative-elect and Senator-elect of the 115th Congress Congress were not administered the oath of office mandated by Article 6 of the Constitution of the United States, 1 Stat 23, provides the mandated wording of this oath, not 5 U.S.C. 3331.
Okay, we're going to stop there right quick. I had to say, I like when he said judicial notice and all that, but he's using the courts on the judicial notice. I want to be the one of the people. So I'm leaning towards, and I may be wrong, y'all. This is me thinking outside the box, okay? I'll do a petition, a monstrance, regress, to Congress or the committee, right? Because everybody's violating my due process and everybody's committing treason upon me, thinking they can make laws without the correct oath of office. Okay? So I probably would be more inclined to use a petition to Congress or the committee, right? Than actually judicial notice. All right? That's the third branch of government. You want to, we, the people, can use the First Amendment to petition a redress, right? If they're not doing anything legally or lawfully right here, well, we have a right to regress our grievance on the unlawful act.
You have to take it, but it's not the oath that satisfies Article 6. You got to take both of them. I include the image of a signed copy of said complaint as part of this facsimile. I sent this one by fax, as a matter of fact. I have brought the same to the attention of the Michigan National Guard Inspector General. As we've just seen, please seek to remedy the United States of America. Because I made the United States of America the complainant, and I was Ex-Royal Robert Allen Radlewski, the relator for the United States of America. And the Committee on House Administration, yes, I did email this to them. Demand, so Google FOIA my email address, courtofrecord@AOL.com, Committee on House Administration, and you will see that I did send this to them. Demand for relief of violation of civil liberties and law of war. I, Robert Allen Radlewski, sui juris, claim my civil liberties have been violated, as is the law of war resulting from corrupt practices practices of individuals usurping the powers of Congress. These individuals have not sworn the oath of office mandated by the Article 6 Constitution of the United States, and I demand relief. I guess to be redundant, it's just a couple of paragraphs, but I'm giving it to everybody I can that's supposed to have a duty to do something about it. The third paragraph of Article 6 states, and we know what it states, take judicial notice. The oath of office mandated by Article 6 of the Constitution of the United States was not administered in accordance with law on January 3rd, 2017 to any representative-elect or senator-elect. Constitutional oath of office without religious test was not administered nor subscribed in accordance with 2 U.S.C. 25. That's Title 2, United States Code 25. Now, if that isn't the correct citation, I don't care. You guys are smart enough to figure it out, Army. 2 U.S.C. 25. You got 10 U.S.C. 25. Well, this is 2. 2 comes before 10. You see what the Congress is supposed to do. They just go audit their books. They don't do it. 2 U.S.C. 21 makes clear in its footnotes that the proper oath of office for senators and representatives is found in 1 Stat 23, a.k.a. R.S. Section 28. This is not the oath of office recorded in the Journal of the House or Congressional Record, and there is no evidence of subscription of any senator-elect or representative-elect. The wording of the oath of office found in 1 Stat 23, to wit, I, Robert Allen Rutluski, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States. That's what I'm supposed to say. Who's ever taken the oath needs to say those words and then sign the piece of paper. So let it be written, so let it be done. First, you had to speak it. This is not the oath of office that was administered and recorded on 3 January 2017. No, it was not. The corrupt practices of these individuals has caused a constitutional crisis. As all the states are currently in rebellion, having no properly seated representation, it just is that simple. It's a one-sentence problem. Fix it. Military, these conditions mandate that the military execute Chapter 15 of Title 10 United States Code. That would be for insurrection. Just go enforce the laws of the United States, please. We could all be done with this. Just go into all the courts, grab all the people in black robes, and go put them in a FEMA camp. And figure it out later. But that'd be a place to start. If they don't have this proper oath, then put them in a FEMA camp.
I have to say that's not a bad idea because I've talked about a couple of videos back, right? What is it? The Magna Carta, okay? They do have this thing, and I'll remind you, that if every law is 100 judge, right? If they're all breaking the law, then the lie turns into truth, right? They are not breaking the law, really. Right? So, now we get the military to go in there and say, hey, you committed treason. You're going to be arrested. And I forgot what code that is, but there's a code about treason and to be arrested. And, they could be swinging from a tree.
I think that's a good answer. They can all come out. I forgive everybody, but you're going to stop. But I ain't stopping until you do. I just got more ass than you got teeth, brother. I'm afraid if you're a satanic sock puppet, you don't stand a fucking chance. We're just getting rolling. Okay, hang on a minute. Okay, so granted, right, it's hard to take in. Dedicate your whole life to what you think is the government. Try and do the right thing and questioning, why am I doing this crazy ass shit? Why are we doing this? Well, it's because the people in charge lie, cheat, and steal. And why is that? Well, because they're Talmudic Jews. And they passed this law. It's Public Law 102 of the 102nd Congress. This is 105 Stat 44. Right, we're at 1 Stat 23. That's a law. Well, then 105 Stat 44 must be a law. Hey, public law. 102-14, March 20, 1991. How many different names they got to give this damn thing? But what does it say? This joint resolution. to designate March 26, 1991 as Education Day, USA. Whereas Congress recognizes the historical tradition of ethical values and principles which are the basis of civilized society and upon which our great nation was founded. Whereas these ethical values and principles have been the bedrock of society from the dawn of civilization, when they were known as the 7 Noahide laws. These fuckers, they put the laws of man before the laws of God, and they're playing your ass for a fool. It's just time to stop. NCOs just got to go tell your officers, sign the paper, sir, and let's go get these fuckers today and get this done. All right, nobody needs to die. Just round them up. They're like sheep. Round them up and put them in a pen until, we get it figured out. But they drank way too much Kool-Aid, man. They believe the world is run by the 7 Noahide laws. That's Talmudic Jewish law, which means if you're a Christian and you believe that Christ is God, these people believe they can execute you by decapitation. Because that's a blasphemy against their religion, because they don't believe that Jesus was God. Amen. Lord Jesus, please help us. Please. Okay. That's my prayer for today. And I know it'll be answered. Okay. And so in my desire to point the finger at as many of these people as I can, I sent by email what I had shown that I had sent to the Office of Inspector General. Well, I sent that to the Secretary of the Senate. And there was somebody else, got the lobby of the Secretary of the Senate, and then one of her doers. And so sec.senate.gov is the Secretary of the Senate's office. Outstanding. That wasn't quite enough. Because what I actually sent to her was what I had sent to Pope Francis through 3 different emails of theirs. One to the Inspector General of Vatican City. That was a wonderful find. And this is the Congregation on the Doctrine of Faith. That would be that holy office, or that, that's where the confessor with the red hot poker comes from. Oh, my. Yeah. And, they may have some cardinal that sits in the court, but if you look at the organization of it, the sovereign pontiff is the presiding officer of the Congregation of the Doctrine of Faith. Right? Not Pope Francis, sovereign pontiff Francis, when he has his other hat on.
I'm going to pause it right there. But then think about that as well. In church, if anybody's ever been to church, right? They say, all rise, all may be seated, right? Well, what do they do in court? Okay? The courts itself is kind of making a claim that there are some authority for God or whatever, right? I'm led to believe and do believe it's more along the lines is making sure everybody is going to follow orders and demand for you to show respect to an unjust court. But if you really think about the kind of the overall view of this, right? It's amazing how the courts actually kind of imitate churches as well.
That's when he's over his country. Sovereign Pontiff Francis I, the proper oath of office mandated by the Constitution of the United States and put into words in an act to regulate the time and manner of administering certain oaths that was signed into law on 1 June 1789 is not the oath of office that was improperly administered to both houses of the U.S. Congress. This is an international crisis that needs a voice, and I ask you supply it. Respectfully, Robert Allen Ritluski. And then this is what I had sent, basically. Sent the form and some video links where you can go watch. Well, here's the video I did before for myself. But, just go listen to Biden or go Google Paul Ryan on 1/3, January 3rd, 2017. And you can hear what they're saying, and they're not saying what oath needs to be taken. And then take judicial notice that the Committee on House Administration claims jurisdiction over House members. I didn't know this until last week. This is really historical for me, because historically, the committee has had a hand in shaping legislation that touches on any and all aspects of federal elections. Issues concerning corrupt practices, contested congressional elections, campaign finance disclosure, and credentials and qualifications of House members also fall under its purview. So they got a copy. I sent.
Well, apparently there's going to be more than two. This week, the People News.